960 was always known about equality, about recruiting less players, more quality. This is also why we had so much success in general.
Oh man, that was a disaster. After the match against 2244, we had like a 2-hour discussion.
Big highlight is the 1034 1960 match.
Both of us are dominating OL in our own realm, and I think Prime 1V and Prime GT are both one of the best alliances.
Hello, Rise of Kings community. I'm Redline. I am a content creator that streams Rise of Kingdom. I'm here today with 1960 GT's very own Cwill and Fish. How are you both doing today?
Doing great.
You're doing great.
Awesome, guys. Before we get into the some of the questions I have for you both, I want to know a little bit more about you two. So let's starting with Fish. Fish, obviously we know who Fish is, but Fish, where are you from and how long have you been playing the game for?
Yo, I'm Fish. So, obviously I'm from 960. Yeah, I've been mostly doing recruitment, also some statistics stuff in 960 in general. I guess I've been playing the game for like 3.5 years now and spent basically all of my time in Imperiums till now. Half of it basically in 960.
And how about you, Cwill? A little bit more about yourself as well.
I've been playing this game for like 5 years already. In 1960, I'm the main Archer Rider leader and one of the management. I'm just doing the commander advice to people and stuff like that. And I'm also a content creator on YouTube.
When you say you give advice to people on commanders, is anybody, so I can call you anytime, any day for help?
Yeah, as long as you are in 60GT.
That's good to know. All right, perfect. Well, I want to get into some of the OL things. So again, congratulations to you both on another victory. This is your 4th championship in 4 seasons. That's just amazing. How does it feel for you, Cwill? How does it feel for you with your 4th championship?
I mean, it's amazing. Definitely, it's an honor to still stay in the top of this game for consecutive 4 seasons. And actually, I'm pretty glad that we could make this far this season. Because the fact that we actually lost so many good players, especially after Governor quit the game, including some of the OG planners of our team. So like every season, we always have some new blood coming into our team. Like in my lane, the defensive lane, if you compare to the roster 2 seasons ago, like everybody is gone except me.
Wow.
So I'd say our team is completely new. And I'm just so glad that we can still be in one of the top teams in this game.
So to add to that, Cwill, so with you guys losing so many players, how do you guys stay in top form? Like, do you guys conduct weekly practices? And how can a player join the GT team?
Yeah, so actually, I'd say that the remaining planners and callers are very experienced as well. We always spend tons of time on discussing plans, according to certain meta change, like the fog this season, or towards different teams. For example, after the match against 2244, we had like a 2-hour discussion on how to deal with the mass strategy stuff. And we ran a bunch of tests. That game just almost killed all of us, right?
Yeah.
But thank God we made it. So practice-wise, off-season, we are pretty chill. No practice at all. But during playoffs, we do practice for at least once a week. So sometimes twice, depends on our enemy. But we always want to make sure to have at least one practice, like right before the actual match. Like for this season, our game is always on Sunday UTC 15. So we always had a practice match on UTC 13. But it's a really good way to remind our players to check stuff, like marches, gears, expansion, buff kind of stuff. But more importantly, it helps people to refresh their minds, to get more familiar with the plan. Like what they are supposed to do during what time, and just for the warm up and the muscle memory.
Got it. And how can a player join the GT team now? Since you guys...
so that's a very good question. I suppose lots of people may be curious about that. So first off, we don't want to make any change or take any new players if there's no one quit. But unfortunately, there's always someone quit. So with that being said, for the new selection, you must have the correct commanders and decent gears. Not only the gears and the commanders, because we don't want someone, just join the kingdom and then ask for the OL team spot, right? It didn't happen. So usually what we do is after a season of KVK, you've been here. If you're still interested in OL spot, so according to your KVK performance, we may consider you. At least you gotta show us like you know how to fight and you are worth it, right? Then you must promise that you attend the practice or testing or whatever and hold off the golden heads for the correct commanders.
That's great information. So I got a lot of work to do if I really want to try out to the team, and if someone quits, that's the real thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you guys know. Back in 1341, they needed me to max Mulan. I did, and I put 630 gold heads in there. Just letting you guys know. Just saying. Worst mistake ever, but I still did it. So I'm just want to throw it out there, brother. Just want to throw that out there. My question regarding the match against K244, like what was it that made it so close? If you can share that.
Oh man, that was a disaster. Because simply they used the 6 points on skill called master strategy, and then just successfully took our obelisks during a time we couldn't go back. Because usually that time we just send out marchers to the mid. They used that strategy so we cannot get back on time. So they just took the obelisk and they did successfully send out like 5-6 cities around us, and then just doing a little bit what's that called?
Disruption, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys came out though, but that timing was perfect for them, and it looks like they almost took it. So, but you guys took on top, and now the champion. So congratulations, man. Now I want to go to Fish. Fish. Right before this interview, 93T won Horus Realm today. Congrats to 93T. I know you watched the match a bit. Well, what are your thoughts on their performances this season?
I guess in general they played a really impressive season. And if you remember like the last video that we did, Redline, you and me,
yep,
about like the interview, basically also there I said that 93T is the underdog favorite in this season for Horus. They played a fantastic season. Like also today they played really impressive. Of course today's upset was probably like the arc taking at the first arc, where JST definitely did a big mistake. But also beside this, they played a really good match, they played a really good season, and they will also be really good in the grand final, I guess.
Yeah, good for them, man. Congratulations, 93T. Now, with all the matches completed, grand finals is coming up, and I know this team will meet different kingdoms. Some that you probably never fought before. Fish, which one do you personally see as the biggest danger, and what is your expectations for the grand final overall?
If I would think about like the personal biggest danger, I would definitely say 93T and 89 hashtag N. I mean, both teams, it's their first grand final. Grand final is also a lot about motivation, about how much you practice together as a team. Both of them, they have really great teamwork. Both of them, they will be really motivated, and with that I think it's going to be really difficult to beat them for sure.
That's good to hear, and I look forward to seeing you guys in action in grand finals. Now I kind of want to transition a little bit to more about 1960 in general. So Fish, yeah, GT is currently about 17 billion, and probably after this pre-KVK, we'll probably hit 20 billion based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We just recently migrated 412 MX a few seasons ago into 1960. Are we planning to keep it as it is today with the two alliances, or are we planning to expand the kingdom in any way?
No, like there's no interest in like expanding it. In general, 960 was always known about equality, about recruiting less players, more quality, not becoming like a 3, 4, 5 alliance kingdom in general. And I guess this low population, high quality build up basically that we have already since the last 2 years, and that we always never changed actually. I think this is also why we had so much success in general.
So my next question, guys, is about the upcoming KVK that 1960 is in. We're in a 3v5 KVK, and there's a lot of conversation regarding this matchup. With us paired with 2377 and 1671, do you think, and this is for either of you, can we overcome this 3v5? What are your thoughts?
I think it might be tough in my opinion, because every kingdom on the map is Imperium, and no Imperium is weak. So hopefully all three of us can secure all the land and try our best to get a win. I mean, no matter if it's a win or loss, we just want to have fun.
Big highlight for this kingdom is the 1034 and 1960 matchup. And there's a lot of comparison from the community about the two kingdoms. What are your thoughts about this comparison, Cwill? What do you think?
Well, actually, personally, I do like this comparison due to the fact that we had 2 consecutive grand final matches against them. But unfortunately, we didn't manage to win like twice. I mean, there are just so many things in common we have. Like, both are very good at a few fights. Both of us are dominating OL in our own realms. And I think Prime 1V and Prime GT are both one of the best alliances. So in my opinion, we're kind of similar. But the different thing is that we actually focus more on KVK instead of OL. But I'm thinking they kind of doing the reverse way.
Got it.
So that's
Yeah, and now they have PLA, which is I believe from 1664. So I'm really interested to see how they perform this KVK with that new edition. It could be fun. It's gonna be fun no matter what, guys. This KVK.
Yeah.
It has already been 5 years with Rise of Kingdoms. What do you think will happen with 1960 in the next 5 years? Where do you see 1960 moving forward?
I just want to shout out to all the fans supporting 1960 no matter what. It's just been crazy that we keep playing this game for 5 years already. For 1960, definitely we will enjoy every single moment that we are still in this game. And we will try our best to find a more balanced way for our players to arrange their time on both real life and games.
So to the community, thank you again for all your support. Shout out to both Fish and Cwill of 1960 for joining me today on this show. Other than that, chat, have a great day. Thank you again.